Take a bone down to the streets, from my head out to the feet. Peacemaker by James Gunn stars John Cena as the anti-hero by the same name after the events of the Suicide Squad. And you know what? I said it once, I'll say it again. James Gunn definitely understands each character of the squad well. You know, and it showed in this amazing series because the show was so good in every way imaginable. Every character felt important. Every scene felt necessary. Every action scene was visually entertaining, and the choreography involved in those fight scenes were so fun to watch. The comedy on the show is on point. Every episode made me laugh. John Cena was a big highlight of the show. You know, he really surprised me. I knew that he was a good actor based on other films that he's been a part of, you know, but Peacemaker was on a whole other level. I really appreciated what John Cena did, not only in the comedy areas, but in the dramatic and more character study moments, because this show, to give you a little bit of context, isn't really a Peacemaker show. Is a Christopher Smith story. For those who don't know, Christopher Smith is the name of Peacemaker's character, Peacemaker's real identity. So I really appreciated how John Cena was able to bring this character to the small screen in such an impactful way, where I was really rooting for Peacemaker the entire series. I wanted to see his character be developed in that way, and they did it amazingly. Not only that, the team around Peacemaker was very cool, you know. I really connected with every single character. Everyone had a special part to play, and they played it amazingly, right? Also, Robert Patrick. I know he's a great actor. I've seen him in many wonderful films. But as the antagonist for John Cena, he was awesome. A great foil for Cena to pick off each other, right? I also appreciated the way James Gunn developed each and every character, you know. Yeah, obviously John Cena was the main focus, but every character, we saw them grow. We saw them mature into their own characters, into their own, I guess, strengths, and work together as a team. And I really, really loved seeing that, because it does feel like a process from episode 1 all the way to episode, I believe, is 8. You see this team get more and more close together and connecting and working together. And by the end of the show, I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler, it kind of makes sense, they all kind of become a family. And when you see what happens in the last episode, you feel for them. You're like, wow, that was a really touching ending. Not only that, obviously, Eagly is the best sidekick that you can get by far. That eagle was so awesome, you know, and I love how they even made Eagly an important character in the show. A pet sidekick eagle was important to the show. And that's what Peacemaker is. It's just a wacky, action-packed, hilarious, fun adventure, missions and stuff like that. And I recommend it to every single person, especially if you love the Suicide Squad movie. In the end, I gotta give the show a 5 out of 5 because that's how much I loved it. And yes, I've already seen it twice already. I love this show so much, and I loved every single second of it. Now, before I finish this part of the review, there's something else that I do want to talk about. That's why the video's a little bit longer, even though I'm like halfway right now. The music choice in this show was really strong. And when I say really strong, I mean outstandingly perfect. First of all, the intro song, Do You Want It by Wigwam, was so awesome, and it got you pumped for the show. Plus, the dance sequence for the intro was really awesome, and it kind of made sense for the characters. I don't want to get too much into that for those who haven't seen the show, but it makes sense to the overall story and the villains of the show. It makes sense why they did that dance, but I'll talk about that in the next portion of this video, which is spoiler time. So I'll get into that right now. right now, for those who haven't seen the show, I do want to give you the opportunity to see it and then come back and we can talk spoilers and real fun. There are a lot of spoilers, so if you're that kind of person that's kind of looking at this like, it's fine, I'm not going to watch it, trust me, you do not want to get spoiled. There's a lot of really fun surprises and a lot of fun things that you don't expect. So please, by all means, go watch this show and then come back and we can talk all spoilers, okay? This is your one and only warning. We're going to spoiler time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, we're here. Spoiler time. So let me talk about the intro. Obviously, the villains of the show are the butterflies, right? The little aliens that get into the people's bodies and control them, right? I mean, it could be a theory. I don't know if this is what James Gunn intended, but those dance moves feel very puppet-like, very robotic. You know, like someone is controlling every character in that intro scene. At least that's what I got from it. So it kind of makes sense why they did that. Obviously, it's fun and quirky and it gets you excited for the episode, but the dancing really feels like they're being controlled by butterflies. So it's kind of like alluding to this idea that who is controlled by a butterfly, who's not being controlled by a butterfly, kind of tricking your brain. And I really appreciated that from the intro. Something so quirky and silly actually had some depth and some foreshadowing to who the real villains of the show were, which I thought was super smart and really awesome. I also want to talk about Leota Adebayo. I thought her being revealed as Amanda Waller's daughter was so cool, you know, because they are so different. Leota is so much more compassionate and kind of new to this government work, you know, having to make sacrifices that affect other people and put other people in danger. And Amanda Waller's so used to it that she doesn't even care anymore. So to see these two very different characters being kind of forced to be compared with one another was really interesting, and I'm excited to see what season 2 does with Adebayo's character because by the end episode we see Amanda Waller upset with her daughter for just revealing to the world what's really going on, and I'm excited for season 2 to see what they do with her character. Not only that, Christopher's dad was so awesome as the White Dragon, and really interesting too. I love that the show was able to be mature in rating because it allowed for more realism when it came to the racism and to the violence, you know. Actually, I think this is the first openly racist character in the DC movies or shows. And like I said in the beginning, it was a good foil for Cena, right? Because Peacemaker represents peace. He's trying to find peace amongst the world, or I guess in this case America, because that's where he's based at and he's very patriotic, right? But then we see Augie, or White Dragon, also looking for peace, but for a very egocentric, I guess that's the correct word, based on his race, right? So I love to see that contrast again, and like I said, it works really well. They can feed off each other really nice as a hero and villain type of role. I thought Myrn revealed as the butterfly was really cool. You know, I really liked how they tried to incorporate this whole idea of like he kind of left them because he didn't agree with their ideals. So I was very, very happy with how they did that. And yes, I was very upset when they killed them off. I was very sad. So, but it made sense. The helmets were so awesome. I loved how every single one of them had a different ability, and to see them use that ability was so cool, all the way from the first episode where he used the sonic blast to just obliterate that butterfly all the way into the end where he uses Leota as the human torpedo to kill a cow. I thought that was hilarious, and it was awesome, you know, to see. Also, the insults that Peacemaker does to all the Justice League and other heroes from the DC universe, I thought were hilarious, and I thought that we actually got, I guess you can say, canonized characters that are so crazy and weird, like Batmite, you know, like the little, I think it's like a elf or a dwarf or whatever, or a pixie or a fairy, whatever it is, that dresses up like Batman. I thought that was really, really cool, you know. And obviously, now that we're talking about the Justice League and the DCEU, I gotta talk about the last episode where we see the Justice League come on through to try to help out Peacemaker very late after they had already won the battle. We see Jason Momoa as Aquaman and Ezra Miller as the Flash, which I thought was really nice. And I love how they allowed Jason Momoa to cuss the Flash out, because it makes sense, because it's an adult show, right? And I love about not to be too graphic here, but the joke that they always say about Aquaman, about him having relations with fish. I thought that was hilarious, and a good callback to original episodes where Peacemaker says jokes about that. Now, what I found interesting about that is that Wonder Woman and Superman's faces were covered, and Batman wasn't even there. It was just Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman, and Superman. Now, I don't know if it's as simple as they just couldn't get Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot to come for that one episode, but they could get Jason Momoa and the Flash, or more complicated as in we don't know what the future of the DCEU has in store. Either way, I know that Flashpoint, which is coming out soon, is going to be a big change for the DCEU, and we're going to see a lot of new things happen and a lot of changes being made. It's going to be like a reset for the entire franchise. So let's see what happens. But I liked seeing the Justice League. I thought it was a wonderful addition, and I loved them showing that they really didn't need them in the first place. Yeah, they got hurt, they got banged up real bad, but they really didn't need the Justice League. So I thought that was really cool. So in the end, I really love this show. I like I said earlier, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 because I just love it so much, and I recommend it to every single person. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you staying this whole time. I know it's a little longer video, so I appreciate you staying here and letting me talk about one of my favorite shows ever. So have a wonderful day. Make sure that you like, that you subscribe, and that you hit that notification bell. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. And comment down below, did you like Peacemaker? Who was your favorite character? What was your favorite moment? Let me know down below all that stuff, and I would love to read that. Other than that, have a wonderful day. Peace. Maker. I see what I did there. Alright, bye.